Nickelodeon has had a bunch of role models over the years. There have been some that have captured the hearts and minds of kids and have inspired them to be better people, though there have been some that haven't, and in some ways may have reinforced these negative traits onto kids. And today we're going to count them down in a top 10 worst Nickelodeon role models. Let's get started. Number 10. Spencer from iCarly. Here's the deal. In iCarly, Carly has no mother and her father is away at the US Air Force. So who's her legal guardian? Her 26-year-old autistic brother Spencer. Besides the teacher, the secretary, bellhop, and school principal, he's pretty much the main adult character on the show. And he's such a complete immature moron. In fact, Carly, who is much younger than Spencer, is a lot more smarter, mature, and more successful than he is due to her web series. He's really low on the list because at least he loves and cares for his sister and is very supportive of her web series. But still, why is he acting like a 5-year-old when he's supposed to be the adult of iCarly? Seriously, Spencer, grow up! Number 9. Pelswick Egbert from Pelswick. This character had so much potential to be a huge role model for kids who were handicapped. He wasn't depressed about being in a wheelchair. He's not a stick in the mud and he's not a victim. But then again, he's not a memorable character. Created by John Callahan, who is known for dark comedy and witty humour, the result of Pelswick's character is absolutely unacceptable. He's just a bland character in a show that's hugely forgotten, and for good reason. Number 8. Cat from CatDog. The majority of the characters from CatDog are mean-spirited jerks, but Cat is on this list because he's such a huge manipulator towards Dog. There are times in which he doesn't want Dog around so he can be alone, but when he does want him around, he uses him for tasks to get him rich, famous, popular, defense against the greasers, or just to control him for his desires. Dog is a very simple-minded dog who wants nothing more than to make Cat happy, so it makes it more disgusting to see him being taken advantage. Sure, Dog is annoying and all, but still, I still don't think he really deserves this all that much, and it just makes Cat feel just really unlikable, and it's the reason why the show fails as a whole. And one reason why the show fails as a whole, honestly, but still, no, you don't want to be a cat. Don't be like Cat. Just don't. He's a terrible role model. Number 7. Ren Hurrick. He's such a crazy dog with anger issues. He's mean, abusive, pushy, and manic towards his best friend Stimpy. If he's not being mean, then he's completely losing his mind. He can snap at any moment, and you seriously don't want to be in his way then... yeah, you seriously don't want to be in his way when that happens. But unlike Cat, he's actually a funny character, and is way more memorable than Cat ever is. Most of the time, anyway. But again, he is still a very bad role model. Number 6. Oscar Kokoschka from Hey Arnold. If you thought Patrick and Cosmo were worthless characters, Oscar from Hey Arnold is even worse. He is such a complete, lazy, incompetent freeloader, living off his hard-working, underappreciated wife Susie. Before getting a job as a paperboy, he never worked in his entire life. For any amount of money Susie gives him, he spends it on gambling. He was the worst of his class. He can't read, and whenever he goes through a problem, he needs other people to help him. In one episode, Susie leaves Oscar. Instead of Oscar apologizing and asking for Susie back, he stays at Arnold's room and takes advantage of his hospitality. It was Arnold who suggested him to get back together with Susie, which in the end they do. But still, Oscar is such a terrible example of a responsible adult. But despite all this, Oscar is actually a really funny character. in part because none of his actions are ever treated in the right. Number 5. Drake Parker from Drake and Josh. Tell me if this sounds right. A lazy slacker who spends his time practicing guitar with his band, getting D's in school, taking advantage of his stepbrother, and goes out with every cute girl he sees for less than a day, and is the most popular one in the show, while his stepbrother, Josh Nichols, a smart, responsible, articulated kid, is the goofy kid who is teased for his intelligent weight, like in Oprah and magic tricks, and being unathletic and unpopular. Am I missing something? Has the world gone topsy-turvy? Well, apparently so. Drake is a very unlikable, though actually funny character most of the time, but yet he's the most cool, popular, good-looking guy. That doesn't make sense. And yeah, he's a terrible role model, like a really bad one. Number 4. Skeeter from Cousin Skeeter. While Drake is most of the time unlikable, he at least has his good moments. Skeeter does not. He's mean, brash, impulsive, loudmouth, pushy, manipulative, and never learns his lesson until the last minute. He's the one who causes all the trouble and mayhem, and Bobby and Nina always have to solve it. In the next episode, Skeeter causes more trouble, and the cycle continues. Just an absolute horrible role model. Number 3. Fred Figglehorn from Fred the Show. Well, here's a great lesson for those who want to be popular on the internet. Act like a complete moron, get a squeaky voice, and say some really bad jokes, and you'll end up with a billion hits on YouTube, 4 movies, merchandise, and a TV show. Yep, that's Fred in a nutshell. I can't stand him by the slightest. I will never know how he became a huge internet sensation, and I really don't care. But, again, it's a really bad role model. You should do something that's passionate, not just selling out and be soulless like Fred was, and just pander to a lowest common denominator. That's awful. And yeah, that's why he's number 3 on the list. Number 2. Dan Schneider. What an absolute awful person. When he isn't having minors show off their feet every now and again, he's making the same type of show with the same type of characters over and over again. It gets so freaking tired, and apparently a lot of them are successful. Almost every show he's created, it's based off of a spin-off of another show with the same cast members over and over again. The new characters he creates for his shows are dumb, over-the-top, stupid and annoying. So kids, don't be like him. Never be like him. And number 1, Firelord Ozai from Avatar: The Last Airbender. This guy is a complete monster. No question, he's pushy, mean, threatening, powerful, and controlling. He caused an imbalanced life to the entire world. He caused his wife to be banished. He burned half of his son's face and banished him for an impossible mission. He raised his daughter to be cold and heartless, and he caused every misery and despair to everyone around him. No one, and I repeat, no one should ever be like him. Though in all respects, he does make for a really good intimidating villain. And those are my top 10 worst Nickelodeon role models. Which people from Nickelodeon do you not want to copy or look up to? Post in the comments below. Goodbye for now.